Hi everyone, and welcome back to our In the Spotlight series. I'm George Godwin, a senior consultant at Gate One, and I'm really pleased to be joined today by Dawn Stygall, a principal product lead at Motability Operations. For our listeners who don't know, Motability helps individuals with disabilities access vehicles across the UK. One thing that always strikes me when I'm out and about is just how many Motability cars you see on the road. And then you hear the number, 700,000 customers. Great to have you here, Dawn. Can you help our listeners understand a bit more about your role at Motability?
Yes, hello. Thank you, George. It's great to be here. Yeah, as you said, I'm the principal product lead at Motability Operations. My role is to work closely with our product teams to ensure they're aligned to our overall business goals and also critically our customer needs. So I ensure resources are assigned optimally across the product organisation, making sure that we're maximising value. So currently, I'm really enjoying supporting our shift to being product-centric. We're shaping what value means at Motability. So we're doing this by ensuring we fully understand the problems our customers have, what opportunities we as a business can drive forward. So yeah, I'm really loving our focus on ensuring we're prioritising the highest value items first, moving away from stakeholder-driven requests and implementing our product-centric approach.
It's probably safe to say that Motability hasn't always been product-centric. So when you think back to the start of your product journey at Motability, what were some of the big challenges that you were facing as an organisation, and why did you feel that the operating model needed to change?
I mean, our previous product operating model, and also it's true to say some of our ways of working, were causing us challenges. Firstly, because there was a lack of clear focus on business outcomes. I feel like our teams were organised around technology rather than our business and also our customers. Teams in some areas lacked empowerment. There was definitely some siloed ways of working. And ultimately, that resulted in some multiple product dependencies, which then slows down delivery. I mean, these things meant that we couldn't maximise the value of our product teams. So I think there's plenty of things here that really drove our decision to move to a more product-centred way of working.
Yeah, sounds like lots of things meant that you had to shift as an organisation. And I guess it'd be great for our listeners to understand what that shift looked like in practice and whether you could just give us a sense of scale of the change as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely been a journey, to be honest, George. I mean, we moved away from siloed teams. We've now started aligning around value streams, which has really brought the focus in on organising ourselves around our business, importantly, our customers as well. So we've brought cross-functional teams together now, and we've given them ownership. They're now focusing on outcomes rather than outputs. What I love about this is the teams now think holistically about the customer experience and also the business value we create. It's not just about the activities we perform. So I think through this transformation, we've created new opportunities for people, within our model. So we've had some internal promotions, which has been great. And we've also had some new folks coming in. We're now really starting to form our product community of practice. It's safe to say we're continuing to focus on bringing the business on the journey with us, because moving to a product-centric organisation is certainly a mindset shift. We've formed our new product teams now, and we've also evolved some existing product teams, and they're now all working closely and in harmony with the business areas to critically make sure that we focus on value.
It sounds like it was a big mindset shift for people in the organisation. Were there any other big impacts that you noticed for teams, and how did you make sure that people were supportive of the changes happening?
The most important thing for me here is to really explain to people why we're changing. Motability Operations is a big challenge in our move to an electric fleet in time. And having efficient, empowered teams, value focused, as I've already mentioned, where they're delivering outcomes will absolutely support this challenge we have in MO. I mean, it has been a big change for teams, but the people at Motability Operations love a challenge. And the positivity I'm seeing across the newly formed teams is brilliant. And this just inspires me to continue supporting them, to continue to drive change with us.
You said you've done a fair amount of hiring recently and bringing new people in with product expertise. Was there much of an opportunity to upskill people that were already in the organisation?
Yes, absolutely. So we are doing that through various different means. We've got internal tech grow that we're calling it, which is an online learning and development module that I've been developing that people can go in and self-serve, learn more about product, bringing themselves up to speed on what does a good product vision look like, what's a product strategy, and for those people across the organization, what does product actually mean in Motability operations. We've got new people coming in, so they're able to support and coach others who need to be brought more on this journey. And there's some external stuff that we're doing as well.
Brilliant. So I think we touched on what's happening internally and what the impact is on the teams. Are you able to talk a little bit about what the impact has been on the business and the customer following the transition?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing with product is it's bringing the customers to us and us going to the customer. So we've got much more interaction with our customers closer so that we can really understand what does value mean to them? What does an experience, a good experience for the customers mean for them? So I think with product, it's really about bringing the business and the customers closer together. Like I said previously, we're really on a journey still. There are some areas of our business where we have got product teams that are very mature. And then we've got other areas where we're just starting out on that journey with them. The good thing for me, though, is that everyone is very bought into what we're trying to do and very positive in our move to a product-centered organization.
And thinking about other leaders who might be listening and want to make the shift in their organization to product-centric, what would you say the key elements are to get right?
What I would say is if any organization is thinking of moving to product, especially if they've previously been working in a more traditional way like we were, don't underestimate the shift in mindset it will take. For me, the mindset shift isn't easily changed by just talking to people about what's changing. They certainly need the why first. And my top tip with this would be to do some talking and explain why you want to move to a product-centered way of working. But then the key thing is to prove it. Find a discrete area of the business, form a product squad, and prove what they can do. So I think mindset shift and the culture around it is the biggest one for me. Of course, there's the operating model that you need to work through, how your technical services play in, what your structures look like, ways of working. But for me, mindset is the top one.
You mentioned talking is a really important part of shifting people's mindsets. Was there anything formal that you had in place to enable people to have those sorts of conversations?
I think always having regular touch points is really, really important. One of the things for me through the transformation is it does take some time, but regularly engage with people. Even if you haven't got a huge amount of updates, change is unsettling for some. So for them to have the opportunity to speak to the leaders, to speak to their managers, to speak to the people who are driving forward the change is always a good thing. So always have that regular touch point where people can check in with you on whether it's in a formal webinar sometimes or whether it's just informal catch-ups where your door's always open and people can come in and ask you questions. You know, there's lots of different ways we've done this. We've done it by, like I've said, more formal webinars with updates. We've done drop-in sessions. We've done a lot of kind of lunch and learns, lunchbox logic sessions. Like I've said, I've done the L&D online learning tool as well.
Really useful context. Thanks, Dawn. And what's next then, Dawn, for Motability over the next year, 2 years?
So I think change is constant. And when you're embedding a product-centered way of working, you always wanting to reflect, improve and drive things forward. So I wouldn't say that transformation's ever done. You're always looking to mature the ways of working, the framework that you've put in with the product teams. So what's next for us? We're still embedding the ways of working in some of our product teams, building out strategies as well. Like I mentioned earlier, we've got some product teams that are much sort of further on in their journey and much more mature. We've got some that are just starting out. So I think it's a really exciting journey for them over the next couple of years as they really bed into their products, working closely with their stakeholders, their customer base, and also building out their product visions and thinking about their product strategies, building out some rich roadmaps and starting to execute on them and really proving out the value of product more. We've already done a lot of this, but doing more over that over the next couple of years. And I know I've talked about this already, but there is still a mindset shift. People don't change their mindset overnight, and really focusing in on the customer experience, the value that product is giving, and moving away from those stakeholder-driven requests or a kind of command and control way of working. We're still on a journey as a business to do that. So I'd be very excited in 2 years to see where we've moved the dial on that.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dawn. It was great to hear your insights today.
You're welcome, George. It's been great chatting to you. Thank you for inviting me in.
And to everyone listening, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time for another In the Spotlight conversation.